Shattered Days. Part 1. The College Halls. Sean's hands trembled as he pushed open the heavy doors of the college. At 17, he was younger than most of his classmates. His parents had scraped together every dollar they had to send him here early, hoping education would lift them from poverty. But the worn-out sandals on his feet and the faded uniform that hung loose on his thin frame marked him as different from the first day. "Hey, beggar boy!" The voice cut through the morning air like a blade. Sean kept walking, clutching his borrowed textbooks tighter against his chest. But Marcus and his gang were already surrounding him, their expensive sneakers squeaking on the polished floor. "I'm talking to you, trailer trash." Marcus shoved Sean's shoulder, sending his books scattering across the hallway. Students passing by glanced over, but quickly looked away, pretending not to see. Sean knelt to gather his books, his face burning with shame. As his fingers closed around his mathematics textbook, a foot came down hard on his hand. He gasped, pain shooting up his arm. "You think you belong here?" Marcus leaned down, his breath hot against Sean's ear. "Your father probably stole the money to send you here." The other boys laughed, harsh, cruel sounds that echoed off the walls. Sean said nothing. He never did. Speaking back only made it worse. By the third week, the bullying had become ritualistic. Every morning they would find him. Sometimes they would corner him in the bathroom, shoving his face toward the toilet bowl while laughing about how he needed to be cleaned. Other times they would trip him in the cafeteria, watching his lunch tray crash to the floor, the precious food his mother had woken at dawn to prepare, now splattered across the tiles. "Clean it up," Marcus would say, and Sean would get on his knees and clean, his stomach empty and aching. The physical abuse was almost easier to bear than the psychological torture. They would steal his homework and tear it into pieces. They spread rumors that he had lice, that he smelled, that his mother worked as a prostitute. Girls giggled when he walked by. Teachers, either oblivious or unwilling to intervene, looked the other way. One afternoon, they found him in the empty computer lab. "Strip," Marcus commanded. Sean's blood turned to ice. "Please, please don't." The first punch caught him in the stomach, doubling him over. The second smashed into his cheek, splitting the skin. They tore at his clothes while he struggled, and when he was down to his underwear, they took pictures with their phones. "Now everyone will see what a poor piece of garbage looks like," Marcus smeared, as he already uploaded the photos to the college social media group. Sean curled into a ball on the cold floor after they left, his body shaking with silent sobs. The bruises on his ribs throbbed. Blood dripped from his split lip onto the linoleum. But worse than the physical pain was the knowledge that by tomorrow everyone would have seen those photos. Everyone would know. He couldn't tell his parents. His father had borrowed money from a loan shark, Tony, the collector, DeLuca, at a crushing 10% interest per week just to pay the college fees. His mother sold handmade crafts at the flea market, standing for 12 hours a day to contribute extra dollars. How could he tell them their sacrifice was being wasted on his humiliation? So Sean endured, day after day, week after week. The bruises piled on top of bruises. His ribs ached constantly from being kicked in the hallways. Cigarettes had been stubbed out on his arms twice, small circular burns he hid under long sleeves even in the sweltering heat. They had locked him in the storage closet for an entire afternoon once, laughing as his panicked screams grew hoarse. Every evening he would stagger to the bus stop, his body a map of fresh injuries beneath his clothes, and make the long journey home.